guys. I hope everyone is having an amazing day so far. So I had a little bit of a health scare this morning. I have a heart condition that was acting up a bit, but I was told to just go home and relax, and that is exactly what I'm doing. I am just relaxing for the rest of the day. So what I wanted to chat with you guys about today is the thoughts that you have that are just kind of on autopilot in your mind that you don't even really think about. And truthfully, you have probably started to believe that they're your reality, but they're not. It's just because you have those thoughts going through your mind on repeat throughout the day. So what I want to talk to you about specifically is how to change your mindset. So I get a lot of people that come to me that are looking to get fit or start their career and join my team, but they think that one, like the market's too saturated, or it's really hard to come by making money, or it's really hard to change their life, or they're just so busy they just can't make time for it. And I was totally there. So in October of last year, I was in just like a really crappy place, literally medicated for anxiety, chose Netflix and pizza and wine every single time over kale and working out. It was just a given. I was not willing to be healthy. I was living in this reality that it was hard to start a career that was just the career of my dreams. It was hard to make money. It was hard to get started, that, things just wouldn't work out my way because I wasn't lucky or born into money. And I was really struggling to get out of that crappy mindset. And I started taking stock of the thoughts that were running through my head. And all day, and especially if something tough came up, like a little setback in the day, and it could be as simple as getting a ticket, I was just like, oh, this is, just how things are for me. Everything's shitty. Everything sucks. Nothing works out. So why even try? And that was really the mindset that I had back in those days. And then you feed into that. So the longer you believe that, the more it becomes your reality. And negativity attracts negativity. So when you're trying to change your life, one of the hardest parts is going from a negative mindset that things won't work out or it's going to be too hard to get started to a positive mindset, and staying in that positive mindset with the positive affirmations that things are going to work out, that you're a badass, that you can accomplish anything, that the world is your oyster. I don't even really know what oysters are, but the world's your oyster. And having that positive mindset even when things get tough. And it's not to say that when you make that shift from being negative to a positive high vibration state, that things are always peachy, and that people, when they're happy, it means that nothing ever goes wrong in their life. That is so untrue. But it's getting that resilience. So when I was in my master's for social work, a big interest of mine, if you followed my videos in the past, is risk versus resilience. And you can have twins that grow up in the exact same environment. So in, say, a bad neighborhood with bad friends and a bad parental influence and drugs in the house and drugs in the community. And one will go off to be a doctor and the other one will end up in jail from selling drugs with the friends that they grew up with. And risk versus resilience, when I was younger and when I was in university, I really thought it was something that either you were born with or you weren't. And I was very much stuck in that. So I thought that, and I had a rough childhood and a rough youth. I was on my own at 15. So I thought, well, I was born resilient and some people just aren't born resilient. And then I realized that is something that is fluid. So at that time, I was very resilient. And I went through times where my risk level was a little bit higher because I was allowing negativity in my life. And then I'm back to being resilient. And it is a choice that we have. We have a choice to be resilient in the face of tough times and in the face of setbacks and challenges. And we have the choice to just give in and lie down to 8 hours of Netflix and 3 large pizzas and a bottle of wine. And if you can't tell, I've been there. So it really is a choice. And one of the major things, like I was talking about at the beginning of this video, is being aware of the thoughts that are on repeat in your head. If you have a negative state all the time, you can't expect a positive outcome. And one thing that I was really guilty of is I would listen to a lot of depressing podcasts, like just so depressing, murder podcasts, and I grew up in a police family, so I've always been fascinated with crime, and those murder podcasts were really interesting to listen to, but it put me in such like a crappy state. I was like, oh my goodness, you go for a run and you get murdered these days. Like, your kid plays outside the front yard and they get stolen. And yes, those horrible things are in this world, but we don't need to inundate ourselves with more of that than is necessary. So pay attention to what you spend your time doing. If you struggle with a negative mindset and then you realize, oh my goodness, I'm around coworkers that complain all the time and everyone just complains about their shitty life. And then on the drive home, I listen to the podcast about how horrible this world is and how the stock market's going to crash and I'm going to lose all my money and you're going to get murdered out on your run and your kids are going to be stolen, your dog's going to get hit by a car. If you're surrounding yourself with that negativity, it's going to be a huge effect and a huge drain on your mindset, and you're just going to be fighting this uphill battle. And one of the things when I bring new coaches onto my team or when I'm working with new clients, I hear a lot of, well, how do I change the people I hang around with? Like, I've known them my whole life, or, if they're the people that I work with, then I can't just change that. And it's true. One, you can change your friends. The thing is, and I've had this talk with friends myself, when I've been making a change to a positive mindset and just be like, guys, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I know you're going through a hard time and I am here for you. If you want to talk and you want someone to have your back through this hard time, I am here for you. But you have to get out of this woe is me, life sucks, nothing works out for me mindset. And we have to problem solve on how to get things to turn around for you and have that high vibration. So you can have friends that are struggling with mindset and keep your high vibration, but it's a matter of putting those boundaries in place. They can't just barf their horrible existence, the reality they've created, that their life is horrible, all over you, because it is going to negatively affect you and your mindset. And sometimes, and especially when I started my coaching business, and especially when I got involved with Beachbody, there was a time when I had to cut people out of my life because they were just so negative and really dragging me down. And had I listened to them, I wouldn't be living the pretty damn cool existence I'm living right now. So you have to set those boundaries with people and just say, look, like, I'm trying to change my life. I already struggle with self-doubt. I already struggle with thinking maybe I'm not making the best investment and starting a new business. And I can't hear it. I can't hear the negativity that you're barfing all over me. And some people understand. Some people are just addicted to the drama and addicted to bringing other people down to their level. And you have to learn to walk away from that. And a lot of people, I tell you, a lot of people will come around and in the end, they'll see where you're coming from and they're going to want to learn how they can change their life as well. So it's okay to set those boundaries with people and say, it's just, I can't hear it right now. I'm trying to change my life. I'm trying to make changes for myself. And I can't have you dragging me down. I can't have you trying to put me back into that negative space. And some people, I hate to say it, it could be your best friend, it could be your family member. Some people don't want to see you successful. And that is the shitty thing about it. They don't want to see you successful because they're not, and they're unhappy with their life. Sorry guys, my phone's sideways, so I'm having a hard time seeing the comments. Yeah, and I struggled so much. Sorry, now I'm looking the opposite way, guys. I'm not used to having my phone this way. I struggled so much with anxiety and depression, and I was actually medicated for anxiety pretty heavily in October. And one of the hardest things is separating yourself from the people that are trying to drag you down. And like I said, I hate to say it, but as someone that was a counselor and as someone that is a coach, people that are unhappy with their life do not want to see you successful. And it is a hard reality to accept. And that was one of the hardest things for me because it was actually a family member that I had to cut out of my life recently. One, I had to cut out my own mother when I was 15. I had to say, your negative energy, what you bring into my life, the chaos you bring into my life, I have to draw that line. And I left home at 15 because I couldn't handle being around negativity all the time. And I was aware enough of the energy around me. I've always been very sensitive to other people's energy. And when I was coming out of that depression and the anxiety and trying to change my life, having people that were trying to drag me back down, I had to cut those ties. And some people have come around, and some people have come back into my life and been like, look, I'm really sorry. Like, I was unhappy where I was and with my life at that point in time. And to see you fix your life was hard for me. And is it okay if I'm back in your life? And that is okay. But being aware of the people around you, the energies around you, it is going to be a huge factor in you changing your life. And the more you become aware of it, the more you become aware of it. So I can immediately be around someone now and feel the energy that they bring to the room. And your energy speaks before your words. So people understand who you are as a person right away. So choose who you're around. Choose the TV shows you watch. Choose the podcasts you listen to wisely. I've just actually downloaded Audible. So now I have actually like self-development books I'll listen to in the car, and it's made a huge difference as well, especially if I'm having a bad day. So making those shifts, yes, it's a little bit of a investment to get that Audible subscription. I think it's $10 or $15 a month, but it is immensely worth it to help change your mindset. Or finding documentaries on Netflix instead of binge watching like a murder show or something. And I'm a big Dexter fan and I love Santa Clarita Diet, but sometimes you just need to get away from the murder and the horror that is this world and just surround yourself in beauty and happiness and people around you that are just happy. So what I want to challenge you guys with today, because my phone is going to die shortly because I've done a lot of leadership calls today and been on a lot of webcasts with people. What I want to challenge you with today, I want you to write down 5 situations, places, people, things that are dragging down your energy. So it could be a coworker that is always complaining. It could be boundaries you have to set with your brother because your brother's always trying to drag you down from the choices and the changes you're trying to make in your life. It could be that you're listening to crappy podcasts and you need to replace it with self-development books and download Audible on your phone, or Google Rachel Hollis. She has some amazing videos on YouTube, which are free, right? There's resources out there. Be resourceful. So 5 ways that are trying to drag you down from making the changes you need to make. And then right away, you're going to write down 5 ways you're going to fix those situations. So again, if it's a podcast you're listening to that just makes you really depressed, you're going to download Audible and start listening to self-development books. If it's a relationship you need to end because someone's trying to not allow you to grow into who you need to be and who you should be and to walk away from the depression and the anxiety and change your life, then unfortunately, you get that person out of your life. So 5 ways, situations, things that are stopping you from stepping into who you need to be, and then 5 ways you're going to change it. And then something I recommend to all my clients and all the coaches on my team is every night write down a list of gratitude. So things that you are thankful for in your life. And it's so shocking when you realize things that you take for granted. A roof over your head, food on your plate, being able to afford to have clothes or running shoes so that you can go out and run, or heck, the internet so that you can see videos that uplift you and change your life and to build a community. So write down things that you're grateful for at the end of the day and do it every day, and don't repeat things. Make yourself think outside of the box of amazing things that are in your life. And honestly, it's going to be mind-blowing for you when you realize how much you have to be grateful for. And it helps you focus on the good instead of focusing on the bad, because no matter how perfect someone's life looks, there's tough times in it. They just don't talk about it, which I try to be honest about the tough times because we all have them. And getting on here and being like, my life is perfect and I have nothing that goes wrong and I've never struggled with anxiety. I've never struggled with anxiety. I am a perfect example of how to change your life. That is bullshit. Because I do struggle with anxiety, and I still have days where I struggle. The difference is that I have made the changes in my life where I can turn it around. So instead of going into this swirling vortex where it's weeks, months of struggling to get out of bed in the morning, of even just putting on a smile was draining, existing was draining, now I can reset my mind, change my mindset to change my life. So I hope these tools help you guys. It was really nice to have a chance to talk with you guys today. I hope everyone has a lovely day. Mwah, love you.